You need to be doing this for your splits. Hi everyone, I'm Silvana from SilvanaKicks. And remember, if you like my content, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Now this video is going to be dedicated to the various amounts of questions that I had on my Instagram this week. I spent this week on my Instagram answering so many questions from everyone, and I noticed that a really popular question was about flexibility. Now I do have a lot of videos on this YouTube and on my Patreon dedicated to flexibility and stretching, but I thought I would clarify one thing that I got asked a lot. So I got asked what my favorite stretch is for splits, in which I answered isometric stretching. Now, I'm not gonna say that this one stretch is gonna be the end all be all and you're gonna be able to split right away, but I am gonna say that utilizing this type of stretch is really gonna help enable you go into your stretches or into your splits a little bit easier and a little bit faster. Now, remember to use this alongside different types of stretching, so you still have your dynamic stretching and things of that nature, but utilizing this kind of stretch will really help you. So I decided to give you a little step-by-step on a certain type of isometric stretching that I really like to do for splits. Let's get started. So to give you a little bit of background on isometric stretching and a little bit of knowledge, you want to tense your muscles and then release them to enable you to go lower into a stretch. So things that enable you or make you hold a certain position that is a little bit uncomfortable. So things like wall sits, things like basic or horse stances, things of that nature that make you flex for a prolonged period of time and then relax. So keep this in mind when you're gonna start doing this stretch. Now I'm gonna start this exercise by saying make sure that you always warm up and make sure that you know the limitations to your own body. Now, I also am gonna say that this kind of stretching is really difficult and really hard, so you're gonna have to try your best and do as best as you can. Make sure to start slow. I'm gonna start with the kind of more beginner way to do this. So I'm gonna start pretty high up. And remember that depending on where your body's at, you might be lower. So just start here and see how low you can go, all right? So what you're gonna do first is make sure that you have something in front of you that can support your body weight and won't move. So right now I have a chair that won't move, hopefully. Now from here, I'm gonna start going into a split. So I'm gonna have my hands on my hips and I'm gonna slowly go down into a split. Now I don't wanna use my hands yet. So for now, we're just gonna hold this. So if you're already feeling the kind of tensing that you're looking for holding, this is perfect, that's where you wanna be. So your ultimate goal is to be at a level as low as you can, contracting and tensing up your muscles, but not so low that you're falling down like every 2 seconds. So go low, hold that for around 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and then go down to the chair and hold that and just release the tension that you built up from the actual hold. So then you're gonna go lower, hands back to your hips, go lower down to the split, hold that, and don't let your feet slide. So your main goal is to not let your feet slide and to contract the muscles enough that you're tensing them and you are not moving. Hold that for the amount of seconds that I said, so 30 to 45, and then relax back on the chair. So you'll slowly go lower and lower, and then if you reach your max, that's okay, hold that. Now, I like to gauge it with like kind of measuring from your groin down to the floor, just actually make sure that you can track your progress. Because I know a lot of people are like, I don't know how far I'm going, I don't know if I'm improving. So kind of track as low as you're going as you're doing this to see how low you could get, and then try again another day and see if you get lower. Now remember, like I said at the beginning of this is a very hard drill. So try your best, start pretty high up, see where your body's at, see how comfortable you are, tensing and releasing and going lower until you feel a little bit of discomfort. You don't want to push too hard. If you push too hard, you might tear something, you might hurt yourself in some way. So I always say start slow, start high up, work your way down, and go from there. And that's the end of this mini tutorial. Thank you so much for joining me. Now remember, if you want in-depth explanations on kicking, on flexibility, and hitting those goals, I do have a Patreon page specifically dedicated to that, where you learn a little bit more detail what all of this means. Now keep in mind, for my Patreon page, you also get my one-on-one specialized coaching. There are limited spots available for the discounted tier, so make sure to take advantage of that. I'll leave the link in the description box below. Now, if there's certain things that you want to see me touch upon or explain, make sure to leave a comment and share this video with those who need a little bit of help on this. And I'll see you all next Friday. Bye. Remember, if you want more in-depth explanations on clicking. No, try again.